It's the After the Show podcast, precious.
We don't care, we're about to swear on the air. It's the After the Show, so tune in if you dare. KVJ, get your skate every single day. It's uncensored. We can say what we want to say.
Okay, here we go. It is the KVJ After the Show podcast for Tuesday. We got the diagnosis earlier of what is going on with Jaybird, and it is lengthy. There is a lot going on in that body of yours.
Yeah.
Do you have that paragraph just to let the After the Show audience know what the hell is going on with you after getting your MRIs?
Yes, I'll be right back. It's charging my phone. I'll see you guys in about an hour.
Oh,
I'll give you the synopsis.
Yeah.
I got it.
The doctor basically is saying it's the back and it's the hip, and he's got like diseased bone-on-bone drama that you can't ignore. The doctor is saying that the hip replacement surgery is probably going to be necessary.
Mm-hmm.
There's the there you have the exact words.
Levels L5 and S1 have disc disease and bulging disc as well as arthritis, and it's pressing on your nerves. The MRI of the hip shows tearing of the labrum, tearing of the labia.
Oh, you tore your pussy?
Again.
Oh, man. Wow, you're going to be out for years.
That's what you get for being such a slut.
I use that thing all the time, Kevin.
You tore your labia again.
Oh, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
So the hip also shows what they call high-grade arthritis.
High grade.
The best treatment would be a hip replacement. They will call you later to discuss. So many people we know are getting hip replacements.
It's the hip thing to do. Huh? Just punch me for that joke.
Just don't punch him in the hip.
That'd just be terrible, wouldn't it?
Punch him in the labia instead.
Seriously, a 2-year-old could kick my ass right now. I mean, just
Easy to take down.
one punch to the hip. I'd fuck. I'd go down like a ton of bricks.
So is there any idea what timetable you're putting on getting back to some kind of normal mobility? Because I would not put your mobility at normal at this moment.
I don't have any answers today, but I probably will have some tomorrow because I talked to my doctor today after the show at some point.
Okay.
So I'll give you another little thing tomorrow. It's kind
Okay.
of fun. Every single day it's a new thing to read about.
Yeah, and I guess you just got to get a plan together. Make sure you write down all your questions, and then if you can, record the conversation.
No, it's a good idea. Don't ever tell me how to live my life again.
Now, if you do that with your doctor, do you have to, I assume, let them know? That's got to be a... What is the recording in Florida? Do you have to have consent and all that, right?
Tell him, but we're not going to broadcast it.
No.
It's just for your own personal, like...
Oh, I know. I'm just asking if you were a person, because that's smart to do. But do you have to alert a doctor
Yes.
when you record them?
I record people all the time. I don't alert them.
Highly illegal. When you are talking about hidden audio, you have to let the party know that you're recording them. But most doctors, I do not think, is going to care if you say, Doc, I have a tough time remembering all this stuff. Do you mind if I just record this conversation for personal use?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I won't say personal use. That sounds dirty.
I'm going to tug it later.
I'm going to tug into your voice.
Your hot voice. You sexy bitch.
I got a doctor fetish.
I'm going to use it for personal use. Bird, what the shit are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sciatic nerve.
Oh, gosh, Doc.
White coat, white toenails. Oh.
Man. Yeah. Okay. Well, the project of rebuilding the bird is on.
Yeah, we'll get it. Like I said, I'm in my prime.
Part of it's a diagnosis.
You're in your lying.
Yeah, I think everyone lies to themselves when they're getting older.
Mm-hmm. Then we move on. Well, the story that was so big is now so quiet. The golf course is going into Jonathan Dickinson State Park. All that was left and all is going on now is the finger pointing of whose stupid idea was this in the first place? And I got to tell you, Terry Parker, WPBF TV 25, girls on it.
She don't play.
She is a bloodhound, a pit bull, whatever kind of dog breed you want to throw into it, and she goes after it.
Ironically, she owns giant poodles.
Yeah, that's right. I think I've seen her on her social media with those poodles. And she has tried to figure out exactly who it is. Now, there's some kind of folds of honor that had the proposal. And, man, they had a breakdown of what she was doing. The charity was intended to honor the Tuskegee Airmen, which were Black World War II pilots. And somehow the golf course was going to do that. But she went and looked, and they broke it down today on the news, and she found that they had slapped up a website, and they're connected to something else, and they're based out of Michigan, and there's a lot of odd questions to be asked, and I can't wait to see what Terry Parker comes up with because she is on the case. And there was even a guy that had worked for the state of Florida for a very short period of time in the environmental district that he was in and out, and it looks like he had part to do with it. It looks like some shady stuff, Virginia. It's just the kind of stuff that you would just love to expose.
Well, Terry will sniff it out, and hopefully they don't make her stop sniffing around, which does happen sometimes.
With what the news say, let's not rock the boat anymore. Let's kill the story, as they say.
Somebody kills the story. You don't know who does it, but somebody calls somebody, and they kill the story.
Now, a couple of key questions remain in this. Did Jack Nicklaus, the golf legend, who was involved in a similar 2011 project for golf courses at Jonathan Dickinson State Park, have any role in this? The Folds of Honor founder, Lieutenant Colonel Dan Rooney, acknowledged Jack Nicklaus's help in saving his golf course, American Dunes in Michigan.
Rooney?
Nicklaus redesigned the course, waived a $3 million fee that went along with it, and then supports the charity's mission. But Gary Nicklaus has said, I had nothing to do with this. Please move along. I have nothing to do with this. Please move along.
Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. So Jack's son Gary is trying to get away from Terry Parker as fast as he can. He's put up a statement and he said, I have nothing to do with this. I don't know what the hell's going on. Leave me alone.
I love when news reporters, they're trying to get an answer and they're hounding the person and they're not giving the, come on, sir, give us a comment, please. And
Yes.
they're trying to get the fuck out of there.
Right.
If we could bring the two together, Al Peffley and Terry Parker, no story would remain secret.
That's the Bloodhound Gang.
The Bloodhound Gang.
Yeah.
What a combo. So she's still on the case, but as they were kind of breaking it down with websites that mysteriously seem to appear out of thin air and sketchy statements and whatnot, it sounds like Terry Parker has got more to investigate to find out how this all got going so far so fast.
Well, I know a thing or two about Folds of Honor because I've done stuff with them before, and they are a very highly rated charity.
Okay.
I don't work with a charity until I look into it.
Good.
And
Please let us know.
They get a lot, like 91% of their funds go back into the program.
Okay.
And I've met beneficiaries. What they do is fallen soldiers, of course, have a family, and what they do is they swoop in to help the family, and they offer scholarships to college for everybody in the family, the children, the widow. Everybody in the family can go to college. I've met recipients. It's changed their life.
Okay.
While they're dealing with the death of usually the breadwinner, the dad who died in combat, now they can have someone who helps them put their lives back together and make a new career and a new phase for themselves.
Love that. So it sounds like they are legit then, and they're great. So that's that part of it squeaky clean and good.
I don't want them to have any taint on them for this because I believe in their mission. Now, a big part of their thing is golf, too. They love golf. And they talk about golf, and they have golf tournaments, and they raise money through golf stuff. So maybe that's the tie-in. They got involved on the golf side.
I think it's just good to answer these questions to find out how this proposal made it so far so fast. And, maybe there's nothing nefarious that happened with the whole thing. It was just a misunderstanding, and when they realized the outcry from us Floridians on how we don't want you messing with our state parks, then they said, okay, hey, because they seem to back off and be like, hey, we'll find another place. So
I think they're still thinking about the other ones, though. Jonathan Dickinson's off the table, but they haven't said that any of the other ones are off the table.
Yeah.
Don't dick around with our Dickinson, right?
Keep your balls out of my park.
Exactly.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that they've kind of moved their focus onto the other state parks that they were looking at. And there was even talk of maybe making it a national park, which I guess would add more protections and security to Jonathan Dickinson. So that could happen.
They're trying to make Jonathan Dickinson a national park
There's a discussion that it might be better to try to switch it to a national park.
instead
To
of a
give it
state park.
higher protection.
Yeah.
A lot of good life out there. Wild boars, as far as the eye can see.
Yeah?
Sorry. There is a lot of wild boar out there, though.
Is there really?
There really is. Honest.
Okay. All right.
I'm not making that shit up.
Can you go get one today?
I dare you to bring back a wild boar.
My dad always warned me of them, and I always wanted to see them. I just never ran into one. I guess there's not that many out there.
Oh, there are. I live right next to it, and there is wild everything coming out of there.
I just was told and made to believe that they don't really like humans that much, and if they're in a mood, they'll charge your ass.
Very protective of their babies.
Yeah, but is that just when they have the babies, or are they just assholes anyway?
I think they're always in a mood.
I think they're in a mood.
They're ready to go.
Some animals do just have attitude, don't they? They
Yes.
just want to take you out.
An ostrich looks like it's never in a good mood.
They're dicks. They're all
It's
dicks.
always a dick.
Yeah.
Well, even the ostrich, the head looks like a
It
testicle.
looks like it actually looks like a dick and ball sack.
It really does.
Yeah. On a bird's body, that's what it is.
That's why he's mad.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll kind of stay on that, but it's entertaining to watch now. Terry Parker's on the case, and be interesting to see what comes of it. The good news is it looks like Jonathan Dickinson Park has been spared, and I don't imagine anyone coming after that land anytime soon with the reaction they got.
No, they got some heat.
They did.
Yeah. Nate said alpacas are dicks.
They
Alpacas,
are.
yeah.
They are dicks.
That's right. Yeah.
Llamas, all that stuff.
Yeah, what
Remember-
animal's the biggest dick? Is it llamas, alpacas, ostriches, all dicks?
Because I feel like, animals like a shark or a lion, they can fuck you up. But are they the dicks? I feel like they could be in a good mood and maybe just snap on you. An ostrich never is happy.
Yeah, there's a difference between defending or feeling threatened
Yes.
and protecting yourself to just saying, you know what, I see somebody over there, I'm going to be a dick and go bite him. That's the difference.
There's certain birds that
A lot
are
of dicky birds.
A lot of dicky birds.
A lot of dicky birds, yeah.
I think the ostrich takes pleasure in your pain.
Well, I'm bringing my own into it too, my own pain. I fed it a stick as a child. It bit the shit out of my hand. My dad kind of laughed because I was okay.
Yeah.
Just it startled me. I'm like, holy shit! And that thing was so mean looking.
Yeah. We had that Chihuahua Chewy. He was a dick.
Always a
Yeah.
dick.
I mean, he's a major asshole, that dog.
We had a mini pin that was a
Yeah.
real
Some of those smaller
dick.
dogs are
Bella.
big dicks.
Bella
Yeah.
was a dick.
Bella bit my panda.
Yeah.
Bella bit everybody. I think the count on Denny's was 17 times she bit Denny's, and he was, oh my gosh, please stop. Oh no.
You're hurting me. He broke the skin.
Denny's, you're bleeding.
Yeah.
I mean, that dog would fuck up my sweet Denny's.
Yeah. GWB said hornets.
Oh,
That's true.
They are dicks. Yeah, oh my gosh, I ran over a hornet's nest one time with a lawnmower. Oh man, that was one of the worst days of my life.
Scorpions look menacing.
They do. Do they go and attack? I mean, they look menacing, no doubt about it.
I think that's the thing you gotta be careful
But a
of.
tarantula looks menacing. Does that mean a tarantula is out to
Good question.
bite you, or are they just kind of chilling? They've got the potential to.
So it's not even that they look like a dick. Their whole overall vibe is just dicky.
Sometimes animals look, they're menacing looking by design, and so you leave them alone. They're not out to find something. I mean, look at sharks. For the most part, sharks aren't coming after you unless you're a seal, and you're good. They just look intimidating. They got big teeth.
They really do. It's the eyes.
Yeah.
Nothing behind those things.
Yeah, like my eyes.
But murder.
Yeah, I got shark
Kevin
eyes.
got that shark
I do.
eye.
I got shark eyes. Lori said geese and swans. I didn't know. Oh, I didn't. That's right. Swans are dicks, aren't they? They're beautiful and they're dicky.
I can tell you who also can be a little dick. Little dicky ducks. There's some dicky ducks out
Yeah.
there. Barnacle-nosed ducks that live in townhouses are kind of dicky.
I've had ducks come after me. I'm
They
like,
live in townhouses.
they live in the townhouse.
There's a townhouse.
They come right out front.
They live in the lake at the townhouse development.
You know what I meant.
They don't live in a townhouse.
They're living in the townhouse community. If it's got if it's a barnacle-nosed duck and it's living in a townhouse community, that's a dick. I'm telling you.
And if it's on the HOA board,
Oh my gosh, forget about it. Let nothing go through.
He has a hard time getting up the stairs in his townhouse.
South.
The
could
little
you imagine the
legs.
comedy of Bird getting chased by a duck right now? I'd give $10 for that video.
I match that 10.
Didn't happen that long ago at the Publix parking lot. This fucking duck comes diving in at the feed area. I'm like, oh.
If I was in my car in the Publix parking lot, you see Bird trying to limp along with a pissed off duck behind him.
I will pay a duck.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Geese is the one. A goose will chase when they're a little kid. They'll chase that kid all around and kind of attack it.
Yeah, they do. They do. I don't get it too because the duck's like, what are you gonna do, man? Them motherfuckers look puntable too. I'm like, don't come after me.
South Florida squirrels, they are dicks. They've become dicks.
Tequesta squirrels are sweet. I think it's y'all West Palm squirrels that are a little bit jaded and edgy.
I don't know what it was, but the same place I'm thinking about where the duck, maybe it was just the complex I lived at. These squirrels would look at you and almost like pelvic thrust, and like it would throw its.
Please don't do that anymore.
Sorry. You're right.
How are you even doing that with your hip?
He looked you in your shark eye and he
It's just-
gyrated.
Yeah, I feel like I
This
was
is
being,
not cool.
It's like now I know what it would look like to get raped by Jaybird. I'm gonna have to live with that for the rest of my life.
We could still do a show tomorrow.
Yeah, there are a lot of dicky animals. You just got to watch out. Put a list together. Got a comment from Vicky. We were talking about passing school buses. They have got a problem in Tampa, over 2,000 instances where it has happened. And they are issuing warnings for people that are going by the buses. And they said very soon they're going to switch to giving you tickets that cost $250. Vicky said wrong info. No warnings. PBSO doesn't play with school bus safety. Yes, I was in the conversation earlier talking about Tampa.
Tampa,
Yeah.
he was saying.
Yeah. So PBSO, no, don't play with PBSO. And I'm glad to hear PBSO is doing that. So yeah, for South Floridians that are listening to this, they're not playing like Tampa is. Tampa's like, oh, okay, just please stop. Please stop trying to hit our children. No, down here, PBSO's like, uh-uh.
I agree with PBSO.
I do too. Yeah, they're doing it right.
It's not a warning kind of situation.
Yep.
What are you more scared of, getting pulled over by a PBSO cop with a flat top or a state trooper flat top? What are you more fucked?
I think PBSO.
I think you're right, because that means they're probably pulling you over for a crime.
Well, just from somebody can help me out, but from what I understand on the state law enforcement agencies right now, FHP is underfunded and they're having a hard time getting recruits in. They're not awesomely trained. PBSO, those people are, you go over by Trump. I had to go by Trump's place last week, and he obviously was there because of the lockdown. They are some serious looking motherfuckers. Like I think they put, because look, after that whole attempt on Trump's life, PBSO's like, not on our watch. And they must have gotten the badass A-team out there, because every single PBSO officer they had be like, don't play. They just had the essence of don't play. They were like barnacle ducks.
Yeah, I feel like, isn't that what Grady is? Sheriff. He's
a sheriff, yeah. He's not PBSO. He's Polk County.
But that's still isn't that the same still kind of type of division, but just for up there? Polk,
well, there's
their own version of that.
They're sheriffs, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not PBSO.
Yeah, I get it. I don't think I'm articulating it very.
I just don't think you are very smart.
Yes, man. Trying to learn.
He said 5 times it's Polk County.
I know. I don't think I'm explaining it right. Get off my ass, lady. Step on.
I'm not on your ass. I'm on your hip.
Get off it.
Yeah.
Kevin wanted to strangle me.
His shark eyes budging out of
At
his
least he's
head.
not face fucking me, so I'll take that.
He was horrified. He kept looking at me.
Like, dude, what? Trying to work over here.
Let me see. Some other stuff that's going on here. This is a kind of an odd, interesting story. I don't know if you know much about Robert Kennedy Jr. He was running for president until like this last week. And I didn't even know that he had this daughter. Her name's Kick. Have you seen her?
They named a girl Kick.
Her name's Kathleen, but I guess her nickname's Kick, so they call her Kick Kennedy.
Okay, that's yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. It's interesting. She's pretty. You know,
Are you
it's all
asking to
good.
be bullied?
Are you going to bully a chick named Kick? I don't know about that. He's an odd dude, man. He's really interesting. I mean, he's intriguing, and it's just kind of going in on, like, wow, just the stories that have come out. Now, what had happened was, I guess there had been some sightings, or they're trying to link Ben Affleck to Kick Kennedy.
Like he's dating her?
Yeah. Apparently, there was a report that they were seen together on J-Lo's birthday. Because people were kind of like, okay, why did J-Lo file for divorce on the 2-year anniversary? It seems spiteful. Like she's trying to be like, okay, yeah, you know what? There's something you did to me, so I'm going to do this to you.
Oh, that's a message sent.
Yes.
Divorce on anniversary, message sent.
Right. So I think people were just grabbing at straws trying to say, okay, well, what did he do?
Gotcha.
And so I don't know that there's anything there. I'm not trying to state that there is, because TMZ says it's not happening. They're, they've been seen together, but they're not a couple, whatever. But people started digging then in on Kick Kennedy and trying to find anything they could. And she told this story back in 2012. She did an interview with Town and Country, and she said that when she was 6, her and her dad, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., had heard that there was a dead whale that had washed up on the beach in Hyannisport. So they drove 5 hours to the beach, and her dad took a chainsaw and cut the whale's head off and strapped it to the roof of their car and then drove 5 hours back home with it. And Kick said every time we accelerated on the highway, whale juice would pour into the windows of the car, and it was the rankest thing on the planet. We all had plastic bags over our heads with mouth holes cut out, and people on the highways were giving us the finger.
What the hell is going on?
She said, but that was just a normal day-to-day stuff for us. And it was last week that Robert F. Kennedy was linked to a story of, I think he was out with some guys in there partying, and they found a dead bear, and they put it in their car, and then they dropped it in Central Park. I mean, it's like his life is almost like Mad Libs. Where it's just so random, but he's an interesting cat. I'm fascinated by him. Have you seen him do push-ups? This dude is super jacked. He's in phenomenal shape. He's doing shirtless push-ups, like finger push-ups, bench presses, all this kind of stuff.
Sounds crazy.
He's a little unhinged.
Is whale story real?
Huh?
Is that whale story real, though? Did that really happen?
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I mean, considering the other stories I've heard about Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and she told it 12 years ago, I don't know why she would have made it up.
I thought, yeah.
Apparently, he's got a thing where he likes examining animal skulls.
Oh, just like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, there's just like one story after that. It's just, dude's a little off, man. It's a little crazy. He's an interesting cat. So, yeah, I thought that was rather interesting. So they were trying to pin Ben Affleck with her. Ben's 52. She's 36. So they're saying there's nothing to see here. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm oddly fascinated, entertained by Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He's interesting. Some people love his stuff. He's the guy, he's not like into the vax stuff and all that. So he's got some very interesting theories out there. He's lived an interesting life, no doubt.
Yeah, it gets people fired up online, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, any of that stuff does.
Yeah. But if you're looking into a fascinating dude, he would be one.
I think does their whole family, is that a Boston accent?
You talking about on Robert?
Yeah, on Robert.
Well, he's got a vocal issue that's going on.
But even without the vocal issue, he still sounds like a Kennedy behind
they're
it.
Boston, and that's why that might be an interesting link between Ben Affleck, Boston roots, New England, Hyannisport, all that. So yeah, the Kennedys come from, Massachusetts, and
I've got family
that
members
area.
that sound like that. That's why I asked. But they're more in the Rhode Island area, but they kind of have that same kind of cadence and accent.
I think the New England accent, from what I can tell, I'm sure if you're there, you could tell a Rhode Island from a Boston accent. But yeah, it all sounds about the same to me. A question here from Stephanie. She said, I know I might get a lot of hate for this, but is Palm Beach County really considered South Florida? I never really thought of Palm Beach as South Florida. Then the other day, I was in the car with my husband, who was born and raised in South Florida, and he says, does KVJ think that Palm Beach is South Florida? Because it's not really.
That is wrong.
So I'm just wondering if I am the only person that doesn't really consider Palm Beach as South Florida. Also, I work in construction, and Palm Beach County and Broward County have totally different building codes. For example, when V was getting her home remodeled for new windows and doors, her entrance doors don't have to be HVAC, high velocity hurricane zone, but rather WBD, which is windborne debris. If she were living in Broward or Dade and install an impact rated door, she would have to have this kind of door. So maybe because I'm in construction, I think the way that I do it, but I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, Palm Beach County is definitely South Florida. You're not going to call it Central Florida because it's nowhere near in the middle of the state. It's always been dubbed as and branded as South Florida.
Yeah, and if you see a lot of even government designations, when they link a metro area, they call it the Miami Metro, which includes Miami, Broward, and West Palm Beach. So even on a lot of government standings, it is considered South Florida. Now, when it does come to building, building codes are different. Miami has different building codes in Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale is a lot more lax. West Palm Beach is not there yet. They're trying to keep a building cap on it when it comes to, hurricane stuff. Yeah, each county's going to have their own, but it doesn't mean it's not part of South Florida.
Well, I guess my question would be, then what the fuck are we calling it then?
Well, I think people in Miami think, no, it's not, because people in Miami don't get Palm Beach. They don't come to Palm Beach. They're like, it doesn't count with the sensibilities and all that kind of stuff.
Well, we're Central Florida?
No.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Look, there's a massive difference between Miami and Palm Beach. I don't see a massive difference between Palm Beach and Broward.
They're similar.
More similar than Miami-Dade is. To me, if you want to talk about if we were all family, then yeah, you have more likeness between Broward and Palm Beach than you do Miami-Dade and the other two. But yeah, I mean, with official designations...
They're really saying we're not South Florida in the chat room.
Yeah,
I'm
Top said you're North South Florida, which
what the fuck does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything.
What? We're North South Florida. I've never heard that, Toph.
Miami. Well, when we were in Miami, it was interesting because to people in Miami, even Fort Lauderdale was like, I mean, my gosh, that was almost like a foreign land. So Palm Beach is, you might as well be Georgia. So I get why. For you, sensibility-wise, yeah, you don't ever come to Palm Beach. I remember we worked with somebody. She was a native from Miami, had never been to Palm Beach, not once in her life. She's like, maybe I guess I had to drive through it one time, but yeah, never as a destination came to Palm Beach. And so I get that it's an out of sight, out of mind.
So 2 counties make up South Florida, and then 19 make up Central, and then the other make up the North?
Yeah, no,
it doesn't make any.
No, I mean, from all official designations, it's Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade. I mean, you may not want to claim it or think that Palm Beach is cool, and so it doesn't count, doesn't have the same sensibilities. But yeah, like I said, for all the government type stuff that I've seen in articles and whatnot, they link it as a metro.
Well, just because it takes you a while to get here from Miami, still doesn't mean it's not South Florida.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in Monroe County, too, is South Florida. So you'd have those 4 counties, honestly, typically, at least, and that's even conservative.
I don't think I even give a fuck anymore.
I fell asleep.
You're right. We live in the North-South, whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah. Jeremy said, hey, Jaybird, I've been watching the Scott Peterson documentary on Peacock. Have you seen it? Do you think he did it?
So I'm not, when it comes to my murder specials, I don't really like a lot of the husband-wife stuff. I mean, I know that case, and I knew it well at the time. I'm more into like the boogeyman getting you at nighttime. Those creep me out more. They're more interesting than me. I mean, he's a fucking pig. I think he did it. I do think he did it. It's just like what they did
Yeah.
with Casey Anthony. They're giving them a platform to because they're going to make money off of it. It's all about money.
I would go and watch it again. My first time, I remember the court case and all that kind of stuff because I lived not too far from where that all went down in Fresno. They were in a town. It all happened. They were from a town maybe an hour away from where Fresno was, so I was paying particular attention to it. It was happening right about that time, so it was on my radar big time. So I remember originally, but you're talking 30 years now. And so I was like, yeah, I mean, there's no doubt he did it. But I do know, like I'd mentioned, I think a week or so ago, there's an Innocence Project that was one to take up his case. So maybe they found something or they believe something would show that it's at least questionable and they wanted to have it retried. So I don't know what it is, but maybe the Peacock documentary deals with that.
Make no mistake about it. At the end of the day, it's about one thing. Cha-ching! Money. Peacock's involved with it. They're making money off of it.
He was cheating on her. He had a mistress. He told that mistress that his wife was deceased. Like,
Yeah, I would be very surprised if I walked away from that.
Well, they did it with Casey Anthony
Felt
too.
different.
They try to have a different perspective from her. I think was it Peacock who did that one? I think it is
maybe,
Peacock.
yeah.
And they have that thing. When I go on Peacock, that thing is right there. You see it right away. They got her face, Casey Anthony, right up there. That was her name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just promoting the hell out of it.
Yeah. Okay. So might be worth a watch if you do that. If anybody's seen it, if you can let me know what are the details. Why is it even a special? I wouldn't even think there would be enough to make it a special.
Yeah, for me, it doesn't really interest me at all.
It doesn't interest me.
Lacey Peterson was adorable and cute, and it's sad, but I think I know everything already.
I know. I think you'd have to talk me into it.
If I watch it, I'm going to be like, yes, and. Like, he's trying to blame it. There was a break-in that was happening across the street when she disappeared, and he's trying to say, well, she went over there pregnant to go stop the burglary.
Because pregnant women love to stop burglaries when they're carrying a child.
8-month pregnant women love to go try to be crime fighters on their spare
That was so
time.
ridiculous, wasn't it?
It sounds made up.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Get the
you're
fuck
right.
out of here. I'm with you on that. It doesn't interest me.
That dude, I think he thinks we're dumb.
I got into my crime fighting phase after I got pregnant.
Yeah, never.
Exactly.
No. Your job is to protect the fetus growing inside of you. And you really go into like mama bear mode.
Yeah.
You do the opposite of crime fighting.
Yeah. I thought the same thing. So, yeah, if anybody has that, you can let us know.
But you're right, though. On some of these specials and stuff they do, you're watching and go, gosh, I know all of these details.
Right.
Move
Because we've
along.
seen it. We were captivated by it. We heard about him in the boat, and he goes out at this weird time.
Yeah.
And then she washes up in that same body of water. Like, duh.
Yeah. Yeah. And got a text here. It said, yeah, if you want to know the state's designation of South Florida, just look at the logo for the South Florida Water Management District, and you can see it there, which goes north of Lake Okeechobee. They designate officially by the state as South Florida. And if you look at it, it almost looks like it's flipping you off, doesn't it? Because for some reason, there's a little sliver in the middle of the state that they, for whatever reason, designate as South Florida. I guess that's just what they cover. So, yeah. So there you go. All right. Well, you got anything else you want to bring up? Want to start some shit? Give us an email.
You want to fight about something?
That's right. Come on.
I just found out I live in South Florida. That's rocking my world.
So are we Yankees? Are we the Yankees of Florida?
We're at least in Central Florida, I think.
No, we're not.
I don't know.
All right, mail at kvjshow.com. You can send them our way. Y'all have a fantastic Tuesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.